There is a terrifying possibility that haunts you in the silence of 3 a.m., a thought so heavy it threatens to crush the very architecture of your ambition. It is the realization that effort does not guarantee reward. You have been sold a lie, wrapped in the golden packaging of motivational speeches and grind culture slogans. They told you that if you just bled enough, if you just sacrificed enough sleep, if you just ran until your lungs collapsed, the universe would owe you success. But the universe is not a bank. It keeps no ledger of your suffering. There are millions of men and women right now grinding their teeth into dust, working 18-hour days, neglecting their families, destroying their health, and they are still failing. They are digging a hole and calling it a mountain. They are drowning, convinced that if they just flail their arms harder, they will learn to swim. But drowning requires energy too. Tonight, we must dissect the anatomy of this failure. We must look at two men separated by time, culture, and philosophy to understand why the man who tries the hardest often loses, and why the man who learns to stop forcing the world often ends up owning it. Meet Julian. He is 28 years old, living in a sterile, high-rise apartment in downtown Manhattan in the year 2024. Julian is the archetype of the modern, aspirational male. He is a day trader and a startup founder. His alarm rings at 4:30 a.m. every single morning. He consumes caffeine not for enjoyment, but as fuel to keep the machine running. He listens to podcasts about optimization while he showers. He tracks his sleep, his calories, his steps, and his net worth on 4 different screens. Julian believes in the doctrine of the grind. He believes that the reason he hasn't made his first 10 million yet is simply that he hasn't suffered enough. He treats his life like a war zone. Every email is a battle. Every market dip is a siege. He is constantly exhausted. His cortisol levels are permanently spiked, and he feels a low level of anxiety that never goes away, a vibration in his chest that screams, faster, faster, faster. He is working harder than anyone he knows, and yet his business is stagnant. His relationships are shallow. His mind is a chaotic storm of noise. He is running on a treadmill that is slowly increasing in speed, and he is terrified that if he stops for even a second, he will be thrown off into the abyss. Now, shift your gaze. Travel back in time to the mist-covered hills of Shikoku, Japan in the late 1940s. Meet Masanobu. He is a slight man, dressed in worn working clothes, standing knee-deep in a muddy rice paddy. The world around him is recovering from the devastation of World War II. Japan is starving. The pressure to produce food is not just economic, it is a matter of life and death. The government and modern science are screaming at farmers to use more chemicals, more machinery, more tilling, more force. They demand industrial efficiency to conquer the land. But Masanobu Fukuoka is doing something that looks like madness to his neighbors. He is standing still. He is not plowing the earth. He is not flooding the fields with chemical fertilizers. He is not weeding with the frantic desperation of the other farmers. He is watching. He is observing a single stalk of rice. While Julian in the future is trying to dominate his environment, Masanobu is trying to understand his. The neighbors call him a fool. They say he is lazy. They say his farm will rot and he will starve. But Masanobu Fukuoka possesses a discipline that is far more difficult than the discipline of labor. It possesses the discipline of restraint. The tragedy of the modern man, the tragedy of Julian, is that he views his life as a conquest. He believes that his will is the only variable that matters. If the door is locked, he tries to kick it down. If the wall is high, he tries to smash through it. Julian is constantly intervening. He micromanages his employees. He micromanages his investments. He micromanages his own body chemistry. He treats reality as an enemy that must be subdued. This creates a feedback loop of resistance. When you push against the world with brute force, the world pushes back. His constant activity creates turbulence. He is like a man in a pool of water splashing violently to stay afloat, creating waves that choke him. He is blind to the natural currents that could carry him. He mistakes movement for progress. He thinks because he is sweating, he is building, but often he is merely eroding his own foundation. He is burning out, not because the goal is too far, but because his method is a violation of natural law. He is trying to force a flower to bloom by prying open the petals with his fingers. Masanobu Fukuoka operates on a philosophy that is terrifying to the modern ego: do-nothing farming. But do not mistake this for laziness. It is the ultimate intellectual discipline. It is the philosophy of mu, or nothingness. Instead of asking, "What can I do to make this grow?" he asks, "What can I stop doing?" He realized that nature, left to itself, knows how to grow rice better than a human being does. The human's job is not to manufacture growth, but to remove the obstacles to growth. Masanobu sacrificed his ego. He sacrificed the need to feel important, the need to feel like the creator of the harvest. While the other farmers broke their backs tilling the soil, destroying the earth's natural structure, Masanobu threw seeds into the unplowed earth and covered them with straw. He trusted the insects, the bacteria, and the seasons. He watched the weeds and realized they enriched the soil if left alone. His discipline was the ability to sit in silence and wait, to suppress the human urge to meddle. It takes more strength to watch a field for 3 months and do nothing than it does to run a tractor for 12 hours a day. One is patience, the other is panic disguised as productivity. The cost of Julian's philosophy is total spiritual bankruptcy. He achieves small wins, certainly. He makes money 1 month, loses it the next. But the soil of his life is becoming barren. His mind is like a field that has been over-tilled and sprayed with too many chemicals. It is dry, lifeless, and unable to sustain genuine happiness. He is successful on paper, perhaps, but he is a slave in reality. He has no freedom because he has built a machine that requires his constant, frantic energy to operate. If he stops, it dies. He has built a prison of busyness. He is lonely because he views people as transactions. He is unhealthy because he views his body as a tool. He is miserable because he is fighting a war that cannot be won, the war against the inevitable flow of time and nature. He is the man who tries to hold back the river with his hands. Masanobu's outcome was a revolution that the world is still studying today. By doing nothing, by stopping the plowing, the weeding, the chemical spraying, his yields eventually matched and then exceeded the most industrial chemical-dependent farms in Japan. His soil became dark, rich, and teeming with life, while his neighbor's soil turned gray and hard. He didn't just grow rice, he grew a philosophy. He lived into his 90s, surrounded by a paradise he helped steer but did not force. His legacy was not just in the food he produced, but in the peace he embodied. He proved that the highest form of power is not control, but alignment. He didn't conquer the mountain, he became the mountain. You were sitting there, watching this, and you were tired. You are tired because you are Julian. You have been told that your exhaustion is a badge of honor. It is not. It is a symptom of inefficiency. You are trying to force your life into a shape it does not want to take. You are obsessing over the metrics, the engagement, the dollars, the status. You are tilling the soil of your life until it is dust. You think that if you just scream louder, the world will listen. But look at the farmer. The seed does not grow because he screams at it. The seed grows in the dark, in the silence, in the dirt. It grows when the farmer steps back. This is the hardest lesson you will ever learn. You must stop equating suffering with value. You must stop thinking that your anxiety is the fuel for your success. It is the brake. You need to look at your life and ask the terrifying question Masanobu asked. What can I stop doing? What noise can you turn off? What control can you relinquish? Where are you forcing a door that is clearly locked while a window stands open right next to you? True power is calm. True dominance is sustainable. The lion does not run around the jungle all day barking at the trees. It rests until the moment is perfect. Stop digging the hole. Stop calling it a mountain. Put down the shovel. Sit in the silence. Watch where the natural energy of your life is flowing and move with it, not against it. The harvest comes to the one who prepares the soil and waits, not to the one who stomps on the earth demanding fruit. Be the farmer, not the machine.